じゃないですか。
はい。
ここキッチンで、そこがウォークイン。
He's explaining our house.
ウォークインに対してこの大きい丸太がこうかかって、でこっちの薪ストーンがあるところからこっち大きい丸太の上に丸太が乗ります。乗ってこういうつなぎ方。シャチじゃなかったつらぜん。そういう加工をしていきます。一部こんな感じも。これはシャチ。
それって間違って折れるってことないですか？
ないですね。
There's no 間違ってね。
これですか？これはまあ見せるためにわざと出したんですよ。通常のこと切りますからね。
なるほど。
はい。
なんか私なんかしらでこうなんかやっててバキッとかって折っちゃいそうな気がする。恥ずかしいんで。
これも向こうの木がここまで伸びてきた。
そっかそっかそっか。
これがここずれないようにこうやって。
So we're in Kayaki-san's house, and right now, and he's explaining how the process will work. But this is his own house that he renovated as well. So when we first met him, he brought us over to his house, and as soon as we walked in the house, we were really impressed, and you could still smell the cedar and the fresh wood and everything. So that's gonna be hanging.
こっちがキッチン、ここがウォークイン、柱があるところにこれで下からこう入れて、これでまた昔ながらのやり方。
So he just explained to us how the beams will be. Wow.
In July 2022, we bought an Akiya, a vacant house in rural Japan. It had been empty for over 5 years. Renovation took around 9 months. We've now lived here for 2 years. In this video series, I'll share our full journey, the process, lessons learned, what went well, and what didn't. Follow along to learn from our experience. The good, the bad, and the things we wish we knew before we started. From the start, we knew we wanted an open concept. That meant tearing down a lot of walls, especially in the living room, kitchen, and downstairs areas. We also planned to install a fireplace on the first floor. Every space in the house needed to have a purpose. No wasted corners, no dead rooms. We wanted the whole place to feel open, useful, and lived in. We also wanted to reveal the original beams and woodwork. Traditional Japanese houses very often are very compartmentalized. They often have false ceilings that hide the beautiful structure underneath. From the beginning, we knew we wanted to expose that to bring out the character and history of the house. So that's what we set out to do. And check out this huge long beam that spans across the house. Older Japanese homes are often built with dirt floors underneath. Over time, moisture from the ground will rise up, creating a damp environment, and that attracts termites. That's why modern homes now use concrete slabs with vapor barriers. It keeps the moisture out and helps protect the wood from termites and mold. For the foundation, we decided to pour a full concrete slab with a vapor barrier. Since we were doing an extensive renovation, we wanted to do it right. Concrete gave us a solid, long-lasting base and helped block moisture, pests, and future problems. Now, if you're on a tighter budget or not renovating as heavily, there are cheaper options. Some people use charcoal, crushed stone, or lime over the floor. Charcoal can absorb moisture and help control pests. It is a more affordable way to improve airflow and reduce humidity, but it's not as durable or stable as concrete. We chose concrete for peace of mind, but there are other ways depending on your budget and plans. As we tore down more walls and ceilings, the original beams started to show. They were beautiful. We decided to leave the wood with a rough, natural look. It gave the house character and told a story. One thing we didn't plan from the start, but ended up loving, was how removing the false ceilings created high open spaces. Now, the whole house feels bigger, brighter, and more inviting. It really changed the look and feel of the place. These beams are right above our bed, and it's the first thing I see when I wake up each morning. It's a simple view, but it reminds me every day why we took on this renovation. We were lucky to work with a very flexible carpenter. Throughout the renovation, we came up with new ideas and changes on the fly, like this staircase. It wasn't part of the original plan, but it turned out to be one of our favorite features. Right beneath it, we built a split setup. Half coat hanger, a small bench for kids to sit, drawers for storage, and even an integrated charging station for all our electronics. It's a great example of how we maximized the space and made it fully functional. Since we wanted to make the most of the space, we decided to build just one bedroom and make it bigger. We cut into the old tatami room, moved the ranma over, and created a large enough space to fit a king-size bed. No regrets at all. It was absolutely the right call. One thing my wife and I had wanted for years was a wood-burning fireplace, so we decided to install one right here in the corner. Originally, there was a closet from an old bedroom in this spot. Looking back, we wish we had set it at an angle facing the dining room table, but over time the placement grew on us. Now we really like where it is. The two large beams you saw at the beginning of the video were installed right here. Because they were in the corner, we had to remove a pillar, and that pillar was load-bearing. So to keep the structure solid, the beams were carefully and precisely installed to reinforce the house and carry the load. From the beginning, we told the carpenter we wanted a large island here, one where we could face the living room, dining room, and the fireplace. We also wanted to be able to look outside and see the Japanese garden and a future rose garden in front of the house. That connection between the inside and outside was key for us. Part of our renovation plan was to make the house comfortable now and in the future. We leveled all the floors to make movement easier as we age. But one thing we wish we had included was a dumbwaiter, or at least space for a future elevator. Japanese stairs are steep, and having that option would have made things easier later on.
Wow. And then again, it has these little, like these little grooves with the earrings exposed, and it kind of gives you a little massage on your feet while you're walking, unfinished. So these are the lights that I personally picked out at Vitori. Here, I wanted something low profile, all white, just so that it kind of blends in with the ceiling and the fan. So we chose a fan right over the dining room, but anyways, that wood kind of blend in with the color. We only kept one tatami room, but absolutely gorgeous. This tatami is not the typical tatami, it's actually washi, which is the Japanese old style paper. We kept the original shoji doors. However, these are plastic. So it'd be harder to punch a hole. With the old paper is that, you know, you could punch a hole through there if you have kids, dogs, cats. These are called yukimis. The bottom half slides and you can look out. Check out the view of the loft, that's really cool. The granddaughter spent a couple weeks sleeping up in there and they absolutely loved it. We kept the original ranma. This is really nice. And behind this is our bedroom. So this is the view I get when I'm laying in bed. Look at that, just absolutely gorgeous.
We're pretty sure the kitchen was still the original one from when the house was built back in 1976. It hadn't changed much at all, and it was definitely time for an upgrade. For years, we dreamed of having a proper walk-in pantry, somewhere you can see everything at a glance. But we also wanted it to work like a kitchen annex, a place to store extra appliances and keep the main kitchen clutter-free. We also wanted to open up the kitchen so we could look out toward the rest of the house while cooking and still be part of the conversation when guests or family are around. It makes the space feel more connected and welcoming. To open up the space, we had to tear down these walls right here in front of us. It made a huge difference, instantly connecting the kitchen to the rest of the house. We also wanted to be able to look out into the backyard while cooking. So we installed a larger window right here to bring in more light and connect the space to the outside. And just like the rest of the house, we exposed these beautiful beams right here, keeping the original character and charm intact. We also replaced all the electrical wiring throughout the house to handle today's power needs. It was a big job, but essential for safety and modern living. Since this was a renovation, not a custom build, we had to work within the space we had. But we kept a few must-haves in mind: a walk-in pantry and a large island, and enough room for both of us to cook and move around comfortably. I will admit, the kitchen was the hardest part for me. It was one of the most expensive parts of the renovation, and we wanted to make sure we got it right the first time. We didn't want to cut corners and regret it later. But with the cost, I will be honest, it was a bit stressful.
All right, so they're finishing up and they're taking off the material. Really nice. Ah. Yeah, so this is what Choco was wanting, the brush look, so that when it scratches and whatnot, it won't show. All right, so the guys are done. Here's the kitchen, complete. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. Really happy with the results. So here's the island. It's quite wide, about a meter. The main purpose for that is so that one person can be on this side and the other person can be on the other side. Outlets on each end. Each of these drawers, really nice. They close smoothly. These bottom ones are deeper. So the sink area, they're nice and deep and large, so that you can easily wash dishes. One bad thing about Japan, I don't know why, but they have not figured out the concept of the garbage disposal. So you just kind of have there and it accumulates and you have to throw it away. Dishwashers are very, very small in Japan. Stove, 3 burners, small one in the back. In Japan, you got this little fish grill thing. It looks like the controls to turn on and off. Watch that close. There, I love that. We built, in addition to the house, is what we call the pantry or the annex. Full of stuff. And the whole point is that I can just hide it. In here is where we have all those knickknacks. My wife's ovens, a refrigerator, where she has kind of like her baking goods in there, outlets throughout, and plenty of shelves. So it's all open and you can see what you have.
Since we're empty nesters, we wanted to make sure there was no wasted space in the house. Upstairs originally had 2 bedrooms, a hallway, and 2 closets. We knocked all of that out and turned it into one large craft room for my wife. It's now a bright, open space she can truly enjoy. We converted one of the closets into a half bath, so now we have a convenient toilet upstairs as well. And just like the rest of the house, we exposed the beautiful beams upstairs. But the ones up here are my favorite. They really show the craftsmanship and how traditional Japanese houses were built. If you've been wondering what all this dirt is during the demolition, it's from something called tsuchikabe. That's the old way of building walls in traditional Japanese homes. It's made from a mix of clay, sand, and straw layered over a bamboo framework. It's durable and breathable, but messy to tear down.
Wow, look at this. I'm jealous of my wife. So this is her craft room. Wow. Really nice. Track lighting with all 4 pointing towards Choco's craft tables. The toilet is done too. Oh. And then the new toilet. It's huge, really thick, beautiful top. And then all the way around, but it will have little drawers, I guess, to put little baskets and all the way around the table. Absolutely stunning. Yeah, don't touch it though, because they're still working here, okay? Yeah, you see the screws? Yeah, they put in the nice screws, these little caster wheels. Yeah. Didn't I just ask you not to touch it? Didn't I just ask you not to touch it, Maya? Yes. Yeah, so they're doing a really good job putting this together, huh? So you're gonna put little wheels so they can move around. Say, Mama Coco, you need to make me a pretty dress.
Another feature that tends to get expensive in any renovation is the showers and toilets. Plumbing, fixtures, and proper waterproofing all add up fast. But cutting corners here usually leads to bigger problems later. One thing that really made me feel good about this renovation was that the only wood damage we found was a small section right here, where the original old style bathtub used to be. For a house this age, that was a pleasant surprise. Modern Japanese showers are prefabricated enclosed units with set dimensions. They're really efficient, water stays within the unit, and there's no leaking or mess. It is a clean, smart design that works great in tight spaces. Another area where there were no cutting corners was on the toilet. Japanese toilets are modern, heated, and have built-in bidets. Once you use one, there's no going back. It's a must-have.
What we tried to do with this is kind of multicultural house, right? So in the States, it's very common to have two sinks. In Japan, it is not. And once you have experience using two sinks as a couple, it just makes life a whole lot more convenient and easier. And then also another criteria was to a easy cleaning type of sink. At first I was a little concerned about this, about getting too splashy, but it's not that bad at all. And also you can pull it down if you need to. Really practical in my opinion. Also you have these huge drawers. This is a gas dryer. In Japan, the dryers, electric dryers just do not do the job. This one in no time, boom, it's done. This is a little utility sink that we added right here, but nice. So it goes all the way down, so it'll be easy to clean. And right outside, there's so we can air dry or hang our clothes. So yeah, this is what it looks like from the inside, and I got a big roll of insulation material right there, which is going to go here on the ceiling, and nice large windows. But again, this was kind of an after the fact thought, just mainly to make it a little bit easier for us and everything. But yeah, it looks like it's coming along nicely. Okay, so the sunroom is complete. These guys did I must say, an excellent job. Large windows, double pane as well. One of the other requirements also was to have screen so that when we open up these, you have plenty of airflow. So we do have a light fixture here and one outlet. From here, the bedroom, you have the large window. We can walk straight out, and we're going to install some rods here so that like blankets and whatnot and clothes can be hung from right here. What we should have done is just make the whole thing the laundry room slash sunroom from the beginning, but we did not think about that. A little bit of ledge, not a whole lot.
The exterior still had the original 1960s look with single pane windows and doors. So our main focus outside was updating all the doors and windows and cleaning up a few features like these old storm shutters. What really attracted us to this house were the huge front windows. Since we don't have neighbors nearby, we can keep it open and enjoy the view. We kept those large windows but upgraded them, along with the rest of the house, to double pane glass. It's made a big difference in keeping the house warmer during the winter.
I'm still doing some final touches here on the Japanese garden, but it's coming along quite a bit. I still need to add some more rocks here to fill in the edges. I am going to get a different hibachi. This one is basically back in the day they used to put coal in there. I converted this into a flower pot by drilling a hole into it, and look at the beautiful flowers that are growing in there. I am planning on putting another one somewhere around there. I still need to work on the shishidoshi feature where the bamboo will fill up with water and collapse. But for now, I have a float valve over there because the water does evaporate and splash and run out pretty fast. I have this on a timer, probably starting around 7 a.m. to about 7 p.m. So it's going to shut off here pretty soon. But little by little, it's taking shape. A whole lot nicer than when we first bought it. When we first bought this place, it was full of bushes here, and actually looks like they just threw all their rubbish in here. And so we really couldn't see these beautiful stones, the water feature. Originally there was one over there. There's some small hoses over there and just full of weeds and bushes. I literally had to extract some azaleas from the roots using like a tripod system to pull them out. We planted a really nice weeping plum tree right there. It turns really pretty in the early spring. But yeah, it's coming along. Very soon I'm going to be painting this table and chair combination to a bright white. So I kind of wanted to stand out and match the colors, and we could just kind of sit out here and relax. Right now it's a very enjoyable evening, but this is the progress of the Japanese garden.
Another thing that attracted us to this property was the little guest house. It didn't have a proper toilet or shower, but we saw the potential and decided to renovate it too. We call it the casita, and it's perfect for guests, friends, or family when they visit. Since the main house only has one bedroom, it gives everyone their own space and privacy. Just like the main house, we exposed the beams, smaller but still full of character. We also used shikui plaster and unfinished cedar floors throughout the casita. And this time we added a proper toilet and shower to make it fully functional for guests. We also replaced the windows and door in the casita with modern double pane glass, making it more comfortable and energy efficient year round.
They're gonna continue working on the shikui here and also finishing up the wood floor. So and here we see they're working on the toilet and the shower. I installed a overhead projector for guests to watch TV, Netflix, YouTube, whatever they want to watch.
It's estimated that there are around 8.5 to 10 million Akiyas in Japan. Just to be clear, an Akiya doesn't always mean the house is abandoned. It simply means it's vacant, sitting unused, sometimes for years. Along with many Akiya, you'll often find previous owners' belongings still left behind, and that was definitely the case with ours. The house came with a lot of leftover property, we had to sort through and clear out. To tackle the cleanup, we bought a K-truck, which are super common in Japan, and spent several months hauling loads to local recycle centers. In total, it cost us around $700 just to dispose of all the leftover material. If you are planning to move to the countryside in Japan, I highly recommend getting a K-truck. It'll pay for itself many times over. Whether it's hauling leftover junk, doing construction work, or picking up firewood, there are endless uses. It's one of the best tools you can have. This particular K-truck was a 2002 Subaru Sambar 4x4 5-speed with a supercharger. I paid $2,000 for it, and I liked having a K-truck so much that I eventually decided to buy a brand new one for $12,000. I know these trucks are becoming popular in the United States and other countries too.
Hold on. So I just assumed that they dropped it off. No. Choco drove it before I drove it. And she says she's trying to be nice. Excuse me?
Yeah, I drove it all the way here. I even went to grocery shopping.
You went grocery shopping in my truck?
Since I have to go get it, so
Fine. I'll let you. Well, I don't have a choice now.
yeah, I already did it.
Okay, fine. What's your opinion of my truck?
Okay.
Okay, you can drive it. Well, of course, it's automatic.
Along with the property, there was a nice 2-car garage. The only issues were no electricity, no doors, and no gutters to protect it from the rain. Luckily, there was no water damage to the foundation. Since then, we've installed gutters and garage doors, and I've slowly converted it into a workshop with French cleats, a workbench, and space to hang all my tools. In many countryside properties like this, you will often find multiple structures, a garage, a guest house, or other small outbuildings. It's a great bonus, but keep in mind you will pay property taxes on each structure. That said, taxes in rural Japan are relatively low. For everything I've mentioned, including about 3/4 of an acre of land, our total annual property tax for the entire year is around $350. So again, just keep in mind each structure adds to your property tax, and along with this property, there is something else to consider. Many Westerners, myself included, love the idea of having more space. But more space also means more maintenance, more cleanup, and more responsibility. It's rewarding, but it's hard work. If you made it this far and you're intrigued by the idea of buying an Akiya in the Japanese countryside, I'm very glad. Giving an old home a second chance is something truly special. But I can't stress this enough. If you take on an Akiya, take full responsibility for it. Don't let it fall back into the same cycle of abandonment. These homes deserve better, and so does the community around them. Before we even get into regular yard work, there's something you should know. Many times when a house has been vacant for years, the yard is completely overgrown. Weeds can take over everything, the house, fences, light poles, even trees. That was exactly the case with our property. It took us about 2 years to get it under control and looking decent. We even hired a crew to help level out the backyard, which wasn't cheap, but it made a huge difference. Now let's talk about ongoing maintenance. In Japan, grass and weeds grow fast, especially during the rainy season in July and August, which is also the hottest time of the year. Yard work becomes constant. Once you get it under control, it's manageable, but be ready, it takes commitment and effort. Now that the yard is under control, it's incredibly rewarding. We are able to pick fruit from the trees and share it with our neighbors. And that kind of simple exchange has become one of the most enjoyable parts of countryside life. Renovating an Akiya isn't easy, but it's worth it. You're not just fixing a house, you're giving it a new life. Thanks for watching, and if you're on a similar path, Drop a comment and subscribe for more life in the Japanese countryside.